grabbed you one.
Thanks. I appreciated our last conversation, so thanks for meeting. I watched a teaching last night. He said we cannot prove Christmas is pagan, so maybe it's fine. I understand why that sounds reassuring, but it flips the question. How so? Instead of asking, is it pagan, we should ask, does Scripture support it? Can we honestly say it does not violate Deuteronomy 12? Deuteronomy 12, that's the do not worship like the nations warning, right? Yes. When it comes to worship, Torah does not give us room to blend things and hope for the best. But we would not be worshiping other gods. We would be honoring God and celebrating Yeshua. Israel said something similar at Sinai. Did they? They most certainly did. Okay, that was idol worship. But Christmas is not a golden calf. I'm not saying you're carving an idol. I'm saying Deuteronomy 12 is not only about idols. Okay. It is about copying the nation's worship and doing it to Yahweh. But isn't Christmas mostly cultural now? And what if my heart is sincere? See, Scripture warns us about trusting the heart as our compass. So sincerity doesn't make it safe. Precisely. Sincerity does not erase risk. Risk? If there was even a 1% chance this coffee was poisoned, would you keep drinking it? No. Not a chance. Would you hand it to someone else and say, drink this? You cannot prove it is poisoned? Of course not. 1% is enough to throw it away. Exactly. That is how Deuteronomy 12 functions. It's a warning. If there is a real chance we are stepping into what God calls an abomination, we do not risk it. We back away. So you cannot prove it is not a defense. It is a red flag. Yes, if we aren't sure, we test it. We do not lean into it. The teacher also brought up calculation theory, how they supposedly determined the date of his birth. He framed it as innocent math, assuming he died on the same day he was conceived. Then counting 9 months forward to December 25th. That math is built on a shaky assumption and questionable motives. There's no biblical support for that premise. None. I know, and it's not like December 25th was a neutral date to begin with. It falls right in the middle of Roman midwinter worship, which raises even more questions. December 25th is associated with Sol Invictus, the birthday of the invincible sun. And that same date is also associated with Messiah's birth. And that's only the date. Once the traditions are considered, it raises serious concerns about origin and intent, and looks less like coincidence. So the point is not one must prove Christmas is pagan. The point is one must prove it is not. Right. If we cannot show it is clear of Deuteronomy 12, we should step back. Even if it's just 1%? Even then. And honestly, it seems like more than that. I don't think it's wrong to celebrate a birthday, or even to honor the Messiah's birth. But Scripture never commands us to create a new holy day for it, especially with all these question marks. That is a fair distinction. Yahweh already gave his appointed times. And those days are already set apart by him. Correct. And there is good reason to think the Messiah may have been born on one of them, possibly Sukkot. So if someone sincerely wants to honor his birth, there is already a scriptural framework for that. We do not need to invent a holy day with question marks. I see it now. I let the debate get reframed, and it pulled me off of the scriptures. We've all done that. So we always need to bring it back to Scripture and walk through it. That actually makes sense. I do not want to gamble with how we worship Yahweh. Neither do I. I just keep testing everything.
Test everything.